So, Kaden, do you want to join us? You said this is going to be watching this, like, the intro and the gameplay and everything is going to be what makes you decide if you want to buy this game or not. I'm telling you right now, you're going to buy it.
It depends on if I'm going to buy it at full retail or
Well,
wait
come,
till sunset.
I mean,
You're
come,
gonna
let's
buy it
discuss
today.
this. Sit down, let's discuss.
Oh, my thighs are sticking to this leather.
Okay, so move,
So this
pretty
is
straightforward.
old Noctis. He has a goatee.
Old Noctis?
Is he
It
evil?
makes him sexy.
Is he evil?
Nah.
Noctis?
Oh my god.
He looks like Doctor Strange.
No, you know what he looks like? He looks like Doctor Strange and Norman Reedus had a baby.
Yep. And
That's a hot baby.
Regular Noctis looks like Cloud and Sasuke had a
I
baby.
just want to watch the making of the baby.
Cloud and Sasuke
Okay,
had a
so
baby.
it-
All
It would
right.
be Noctis.
It's pretty.
Oh.
Okay, now it's on fire.
Yep, everything
Yeah.
blew up.
And now we
And
get to
so,
see
end of the world.
old Prompto, who still looks like a douchebag.
So we flashed forward
where's
already.
your camera, Prompto? Wait, hold on. Who's the devil in the loincloth on the throne? What is up with him? Hold on. Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow.
Hey,
Okay.
That's the devil in a loincloth.
What took you guys so long to notice that?
Just looking at the pretty anime boys with the hair.
Gladio
Oh, yeah,
now has a
of course.
ponytail. Because, why not?
So now there's an interesting thing about this game. Obviously, it's very brotastic. And you kind of start this game. It's just, well, I mean, we're starting it now, but like you start, there's your guys, they're your friends, and that's sort of already established. But if you want to get a better idea of how all these guys became friends, there is an anime series, and it's
Yes,
free.
it's-
Free. It's on YouTube.
it's
you can
very
watch.
good.
You can watch it, and it goes through and shows how they became friends.
So is this a cutscene from Kingsglaive?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's the other thing. And I'll zip it down. Just, well...
Princes will be princes. So much for royal protocol.
Not like you had to deliver a formal address.
What now?
Sweet Bryce.
We should also add subtitles after this cutscene.
We should.
Yes. I thought I had him on.
Great burden on those who bear with you. You don't want to talk. I ask not that you guide my wayward son, merely that you remain at his side.
Carry on.
Indeed. We'll see the prince to Alticia if it's the last thing we see.
What is it? Hate to break this up. Course got the motor running. Drados, it's in your hands.
And another thing. Do mind your manners around our charming bride-to-be.
Your Majesty as well. Try to mind yours around our esteemed guests from Niflheim.
You have no cause for concern.
Nor do you.
Take heed. Once you set forth, you cannot turn back.
You think I would?
I need only know that you are ready to leave home behind.
Don't know about you, but I'm ready as I'll ever be.
Take care in the long road. Wheresoever you should go, the line of Lucis goes with you. Octo, my son.
Drama.
Final Fantasy has always been really good with its music.
Like, they actually have a legitimate song in this.
Yeah, they've got this is I'm blanking on the name. It's Stand By Me, and it's Florence and the Machine.
Yeah, I think it is
Right.
Florence and the Machine Stand
And
By Me.
so you can look around while you do this. All you got to do is hold R2. You can
Okay.
actually look
Oh,
around.
push R2, so that's all I need to worry
Yeah,
about.
and you can look around.
So there's some pluses and minuses.
Check out Prompto's hip motion on this. 'Cause
Oh,
he
yeah?
is really like.
Oh, he's
Look
into
at
it.
him. He is
Wow.
really grinding
What
in
is-
there.
He's
Well,
really
I mean,
Let's
deep
get a side
lunging.
view
The
of
thing
it.
is, though,
Look at that.
Prompto is also like seems like a bit smaller than the other guy.
Wow.
Prompto was
Oh,
lunging.
man.
No, you know what? I feel like
Motion
he's
of the
mostly
ocean,
just
man.
hanging. I feel like he's just hanging on.
Oh my god.
And not doing
He's
work.
there for the ride. The guy in the back's the one doing the
Oh,
push.
He's doing all
Gladio
everything.
is doing all the pushing.
He's
Oh,
doing
yeah, Gladiator's
everything.
doing
You know,
everything.
Noctis is just touching the car. He's
Prompto's
like,
just
Exactly.
making all those motions just to make it seem like he's doing something.
Of course. Also, Prompto loves to make puns when you're fighting. My favorite one is he goes, "You really knocked that out of the park, right, Knocked?" And I'm like, I hear you.
Was it supposed to be way closer? I assure you.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that the audio levels are back.
Literally.
We gotta scooch in a little bit. Eddie, you're only partially in frame. Okay. See, this is like we do family style streaming here.
It's cozy.
It is cozy. It's especially cozy in this room
Yeah.
today. We have a
It's warm now.
our room, our shooting studio is kind of weird. It's what the entire building's AC is based off, I guess. And so the temperature in here varies wildly depending on whether they're trying to like heat up the entire space or cool down the entire space.
Which is why everybody has blankets and stuff.
Hey, what's up? Like, it's
It
Mika.
me.
Yeah, it's Mika.
It's Mika.
And me.
Let's hear the accent.
No, I reject this accent.
I don't know, Mika. We don't see your underwear.
I know, I didn't have a matching orange thong. I'm not completely accurate.
I feel like she's cosplaying as Riku.
Yeah,
I can see
pretty
that.
much.
Apologies for taking so long.
You best save your apologies for Papa.
So everyone in this
Girl, put
area
your thong away.
tends to have like kind of like country accents. I'm like, what's the Japanese equivalent of that?
There is a Japanese country accent because you see
Yeah.
that in subtitles a lot
Like
in
like
anime.
Yep.
what, like rural areas?
Yeah,
Yep.
like you'll
Yeah,
see
I'm
they'll do like
curious what the difference is.
instead of
there.
ing, it'll be in apostrophe. You'll see it in subtitles, and you'll be like, "Oh, they're from the rural part of Japan, apparently." Sid,
Sid.
What's up, Sid?
Wow, he is old.
he's an old fuck.
Sid is a Final Fantasy tradition. For those who aren't really familiar with Final Fantasy, is every game, unless it's a trilogy like the 13 trilogy, is standalone. So you don't need to play Final Fantasy 7 to understand 10, for instance. You can pick up any entry and it's self-contained, but they do have traditions that kind of carry across all the games. One of those are the spells will be like fire. I always pronounce it as Fira, but other people call it Fyra, Firaga, and so on, the levels of magic. Sid is a character that pops up in every game, and like each iteration, like each Sid is a unique and different character, but there's always a Sid.
Yes, and technically in the Japanese version of Final Fantasy 15, her name was Sydney, and because
Huh.
she's the new Sid, technically,
Why did they change it to Cindy then?
because there's also Sid in there, so I guess they didn't want Sid and Sydney.
What's up? Hey, what you doing? How
Sid
you
is
doing?
really old.
Sid.
He really
Hey.
old.
He was like born
He's
when they
not-
started
he's-
developing the game.
He's grizzled.
Y'all don't get lost.
The ripe old age of 10.
Yeah.
Him and Ash Ketchum are getting along just fine.
Oh God.
The Outback's been really hard on him. Here we go.
There
Here's
you
the
go.
mini tutorial. So even though we didn't go through a tutorial, we're going through a tutorial. So you conjure weapons to attack. Hold blitz, hold circle to blitz the enemy with consecutive attacks. Change weapons with the D-pad. Seems easy enough.
We basically just hold circle.
And then you press triangle to warp.
Yes,
Yeah.
but you have to be right
You have to be
bumper.
yeah, you have to be locked on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other thing about this is that's a little bit unusual for Final Fantasy games is that you don't control any of the characters. Whoopsie daisy.
Yeah, you just control Noctis.
You only control Noctis.
Although later on you do learn that you can do like tactics, which you can tell the characters to do stuff, and you can upgrade their tactics.
Yeah, so it's a little bit like
Excellent work.
God, what was the first game where you set their tactics and then they sort of did their own thing?
Final
12?
Fantasy 12 did it, yeah.
Also, Dragon Age does that.
Final Fantasy 12 was not good
So-
for that, though. They were not
So you have
smart.
to go find the next group. There's 3 groups of pests.
Those are really big scorpions, by the way. Can we just discuss their scorpion
They are
problem?
terrifying.
So the basic thing about the combat system of this, you basically are holding circle to attack, or you're holding square to parry and defend. And so it's about my one complaint with the combat system is that it gets sort of hard to see what enemies are doing because the camera's not great. It's kind of swinging all over the place sometimes. So
I get the feeling that Final Fantasy's never been amazing about
Yeah.
the camera since they went kind of like 3D with their combat. But I also feel like the camera is probably one of the relics of the long development cycle.
probably.
yeah.
Also, it's funny, the controller actually vibrates when he gets a phone call.
How goes the hunting?
Actually, we just finished.
That's great, because I got one
What are the names of each character? The dude talking is Noctis, the British dude is Ignis, the blonde asshole is Prompto.
Well, we should
You hate
clarify.
Prompto. I love
I
Prompto.
love Prompto. I
So-
love Prompto so much. He's my asshole son.
So yeah, Prompto is the blonde kid here, and he like his role in the team is he's a photographer who throughout the game will actually take photos of you and your buddies and as your exploits. Document them. He's also your ranged teammate. He's gun based, and then Noctis here. This is the prince that I'm controlling, and he is obviously he's all swordy or speary, I suppose.
He's also gunny. He can do everything.
He's the main character. He plays however you want him to play. Do you think this car will hit me?
No.
Oh, I was hoping.
They're like,
Okay.
could you get out of the middle of the room, please?
So, and then what's the British guy's thing?
Ignis.
Ignis. He
Ignis.
is the camper, the camping expert. He cooks for you. He also is your driver and the logical teammate. So he's the one who's always like knocked. Don't be an idiot.
He's also the guy that'll kind of like scan for weaknesses and stuff
Okay.
for in battle.
He's the intelligence
Yeah.
of the group.
And
then Gladio's
Gladio
kind of,
is.
he's your heavy, right?
Yeah.
he's your heavy, he's your comic relief because he's like the big buff dude that reads, and he's the shirtless one. I think that's just his trope.
I can take
His
that.
trope is
Okay.
shirtless.
All right, we're
Okay.
gonna fight more dudes. Fight.
His
fight,
trope is like
fight,
covered in
fight,
tattoos
fight,
and shirtless.
fight. All right.
So how far are you into this, Mika?
I am about 3 hours in.
Okay. And Eddie?
About 2 hours.
Okay. So you're both about the
So-
same place.
I think Mika's much further in the story than me.
Well,
This
no,
is-
I just got to like where the story actually starts. Like,
Yeah. So
there's-
a lot of this is almost like it is
World
story,
building.
but it's not yet.
It's like
Yeah,
intro
This is
setup.
like teaching you to play the game.
exactly.
It's just pretends it's not a tutorial.
The first 2 levels are kind of like when you're talking to Cindy and getting your car repaired, and then you have some little fetch quests to do. That's all kind of like extended
Oh, I
tutorial.
did A+. Good, because I felt like I did ass. So my finesse, I got a C. That's not great.
It's alright.
My time, I got an A, so I did it fast. But my offense is an A+.
You
And
kicked
that's
a
what
lot
matters.
of ass.
Doing a lot of
Yeah.
damage.
That's what
Okay.
matters the most.
So there's you sort of start off and you're kind of in the middle of nowhere. You said goodbye to your dad, the king, and everything. Went off on a road trip, and there's a lot of story that you'll actually miss here, which is where the movie comes in, Kingsglaive.
Yes.
And the movie came out in what, June? But you can get it around, and Kingsglaive basically fills in the sort of like a little bit of prologue, and then it happens concurrently with the early parts of this game where it's setting up what's happening elsewhere in the world, specifically with the king, while these guys are out doing their road trip to set up for like the heavier events of the game, I guess. So the one cutscene that we saw was, what do we want to make? Do we want to make flame roasted toast to increase our attack?
Flame roasted.
toast.
The
Do we want to have toasty rice balls to increase our HP? Do we want to Jack by 30?
Madame.
Madame,
Croque
yeah.
Madame.
It's
For
actually good food.
Looks
for a
delicious.
camper, he's doing nice work.
Also, there's a vegetable stew that does some pretty damn good
Yes.
stuff.
Vegetable
You know what?
stew is
I
nice.
really like stew. There's a thing that happens in fantasy, pretty much everything, where it's like they stopped at an inn and all the inn had was meaty stew and crusty bread
Oh.
and cheese, and
There's
I'm like,
something about that.
you make it sound bad. Like you sound like that's
Sounds
like
amazing.
really
That sounds
hard,
like what I wanna
but
have for dinner.
That's all
Look
I
at that.
want.
Look at this. All right, I'm sold. I want this.
Oh, so
Also, I like
good.
that every time Ignis is like, yes, I'm a genius. I shall craft you a meal for the gods.
I just want to be like a poor person with terrible dental hygiene in general in like a medieval tavern eating stew and crusty bread and cheese all the time. Or I'll just camp out with these dudes. I just need to have much bigger hair.
I want to know what they're debating so fiercely. What are they talking? What are they so passionate about?
The seasoning.
Ah, that's exactly what it was. Ignis, these mushrooms—they're incredible.
Prompto's hit
So
motions.
this is all of them.
Were you really pushing the car or were you
Leveling
just
up.
faking it?
And then the best part comes up next.
Oh boy.
You get to look over all of
photos.
those.
Oh, here we go, the photographs. So this is since he's not great at pushing cars, this is what Prompto does for you.
I got a really great picture.
Of course.
He's like, wow,
Prompto,
boobs.
you perv.
Surprise, surprise.
I also like the photos when he takes during battle, and it's
Yes.
like, aren't you supposed to be fighting,
Fighting?
you
Yeah,
asshole?
I just want to know, like, what we're running to get scorpions, and he's like, hold on, stop, I want to get a picture. Oh, Prompto, you're an idiot. That's gonna charge. I hope it charges. Oh my
You
gosh.
wrecked that thing.
Nice one.
I think Gladio's my favorite character.
Gladio's. You know what? Is,
Not just
do you
because
ever-
not just because he's shirtless. Not just
Okay.
okay, maybe because he's shirtless.
Do you guys ever like look at various? Okay, so here we go. Your friends can perform techniques to aid you. That's the L1 button, so left shoulder, and then D-pad. Okay, so for example, L1, and you can have one of them do this. So I want Gladiolus to do the Tempest.
Apparently, if you
Look at that, that was awesome. I like you, Gladiolus.
have your finger off the run button and holding back quickly, it will refill your stamina bar so you can run forever.
Oh
apparently.
shit! Oh my god, if you get tossed up in the air, you can warp out of it?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, hold on. Now we're gonna do the.
So you got.
Okay, so he said have Gladiolus do.
Bye,
okay,
Mika.
Bye,
You
Mika.
got a timer for this to get that extra AP bonus.
Oh god.
So you have 40 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know that that's happening.
So L1.
But L1.
And then warp strike.
Right, yep. And then there's gonna be a button prompt for you in a
Okay, I'll
second.
just save.
There.
There it is.
I missed it. No,
Oh,
Oh, parry.
Nice.
I think I did it. Maybe.
You're in 3 AP for that.
Oops. I'll try it again. Try it again. Ready? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Circle.
There
You got it.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
The monster design is really cool.
Monster
again-
design for Final Fantasy games tends to be very good. Oh.
I felt Final Fantasy 13 really just kind of lacked on a lot of like.
Well,
Really
Final Fantasy
good
13,
design
and
choices.
keeping in mind that you're trying to figure out if like there were 3 different Final Fantasy games and they were all really different.
Anyone dead?
And he's dead now. Do we skin him, take his tusks, and sell on the
No,
black
he
market?
just disappears. You like automatically get whatever he
Sell it
has
the black
on him.
market.
I came to a farm area, industrial. I don't know. It's a water tank. I'm looking for things to do. The map said there was stuff. It looks like there's a red thing immediately this way, unless that's a camp spot. We'll find out.
So how far into the game can you actually fly the car?
I have no idea how.
Okay.
How far that actually comes
Well,
into play.
we're absorbing.
So
some
this is
stuff.
how you absorb the stuff to make spells.
I see.
Okay,
So you absorb
so
elemental energy from fire, ice, lightning, and then you can use that to put spells in a bottle.
that's what the magic
basically.
flask is, right?
Yes.
Okay, so is this where I can say that little aspect reminds me a lot of Final Fantasy VIII, where you're doing
Yeah.
the draw system?
Yeah, it's very similar to that.
Yeah, I mean, you can say whatever you want, man.
And really, all it is like fire, ice, and lightning are your spells. And
Yeah,
that's
there-
basically it.
That was, according to the reviews, at least one of the criticisms, right, is that the magic system seems simplified. In fact, it looks like there's an ice one up here that will go absorb. Because I'm not really interested in that campsite right now. There we go. See, the magic system feels a little bit simplified over previous games. So there was a fire one, there was an ice one, and it looks like there's a lightning one right over
Yes.
here. So they're introducing you to that stuff right off the bat, but you still can't really do anything about it quite yet.
I think you can actually go ahead and craft a spell.
Can I?
Yes. So you go into your menu.
Okay. This
Oh
one?
no, the other one.
Not share, because we're... God damn it.
Someone was saying that
Hold on.
they're disappointed that you can't actually drive the car. You can drive the car.
Ish.
Okay.
Ish.
You can
What does
drive the
that
car
mean?
ish, but it's not like...
You can't-
It's not
you
turning
can't-
into Forza.
Yeah, you can't even really turn a whole lot. But yeah, whatever how to get into your regular menu, which I guess is the.
So
the
here,
touchpad
in fact,
screen.
I can...
touchpad.
Stinking
What's
hot.
up, Ghost?
What the?
Are you glitching out, buddy?
What the
You
heck is
glitching out?
happening here?
You glitching out? It's fine. I'll get the car, and how about this? We'll manually drive down to that next waypoint. Yeah, it's not going to turn into an open world driving game. Final Fantasy will never be that, I'm afraid.
Steven Banadolas asks, if you're a fan of the series, do you like this so far?
I'm interested in this, but I've always been a little bit cautiously interested in Final Fantasy 15 because it feels like a different kind of Final Fantasy to me, and I'm okay with that. But I'm not going head over heels just yet. I'm want to see how it plays out. Obviously, it's gorgeous. I like that, but it's also there are a lot of more modern elements that I'm used to in a lot of Final Fantasy games. Like, I'm driving a car right now, for example. Okay, so we're gonna pull in here.
All right, so Eddie, do you know how the Chocobo stuff works at all?
No, I haven't even tried it yet.
So you haven't ridden around on it, but you can rent them, right?
Yes.
Hey, son of a... Okay, so
to
here's the
U-turn, there's a
downside.
button. So
What's-
square.
Okay, so this is
Ashley wants to play
not
Forza.
a driving game.
Nice
So if there's anything I can recommend for this game is if you're interested in getting it and playing it, if you like what you've seen so far, it's one, watch Kingsglaive. It will, to some degree, I think, I don't want to say it'll spoil what's going on in the early parts of the game. It reveals what's going on elsewhere in the world.
Sure.
But I feel like this is a game where, like, your experience with your bros is kind of that early
It's supposed
experience.
to. Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Bye, Eddie.
Bye, Eddie. The chat says bye, Obama.
Bye, young Obama. So I think it's worth it for the additional context because there's a lot that will come up. What'll I write back? I'm gonna be nice and I'm gonna say that. You'll get a lot of additional context, but I also feel like the movie itself throws a lot of lore at you and everything, which you won't fully understand until you play this game. So they're very intertwined. And also watch the anime series if you want to, like, I feel like knowing why these guys are friends is important. Knowing how Ignis got invisible, that's also important. I don't think we're getting an answer to that one, but that would be good to know. Look at him.
He's still invisible.
He's still
We've had
invisible.
cutscenes and it's reloaded everything, and he's still just kind of like
I think he's just a hologram.
he's not real. So this game is out on PS4 and Xbox One.
PS4 and Xbox One, it is not out on PC. I think they've said they would like to bring it to PC, but that they want to do a good job. It's interesting that this game plus its day one update is smaller in size
All pretty
than the
again.
10
Take
and
care
10
of her,
2
you hear?
makes for PC.
Really?
Yeah, I want to say those were really big. Those were, I want to say, somewhere in the neighborhood of like 50 gigabytes.
That's
To
ridiculous.
download.
Why so big?
Maybe I'm overestimating it in my mind because I went to play them one night and then it was going to take forever to download. So I gave up. Okay, so now we're there and the closest place we're going to run out of the treasure points. Okay.
Joss7 just said the Dresden Files is the best series.
Dresden Files was a wonderful series. If you're a reader, then you're good. You don't need to worry about, there's a sorty thingy over here. So icons are a big thing in this to tell you where to go. Sorty thing. Oh, sword shop. Okay.
It would take them years to port this to the PC. Said fallen over.
Yeah. I mean, it's entirely possible. There's a Chocobo station out there. There's a corner exploratory metal scrap. How exciting.
Can you imagine the mods that this would get if it was on the PC? It would be ridiculous.
Theoretically, man. I mean, it all depends on how well they support mods, and some developers not all about it.
That's true. I can only imagine the first thing people would want to do is
Okay, so
untether the car.
Yeah, so I like 10. 10 is interesting because a lot of people don't like the main character, Tidus.
Yep.
They think he's just kind of like a whiny baby, and he is. He's nice too, but he can be kind of a whiny baby. And it's when you get right down to it, it's a female hero. That's Yuna. She's going to fight gigantic monster known as Sin. It's turn-based. It's very, very fantasy. There's like a blue Yeti dude with a horn on his head. There's a mage whose dress is mostly made out of belts.
Wow.
There's the grizzly old action hero who with his gigantic ass sword.
Loved Orin.
He's so great. There's Sports Bro.
Waka, voiced by John DiMaggio.
Yeah, it's really great. And so there's really a lot to love about it for sure. Let's go. Oh, you know what I didn't realize? Hold on. We're gonna return to the last rest point. What's that? That's a campground. We're gonna run. No.
Return to the car?
But we're gonna run to a campground because night has fallen.
Yeah.
And one thing about this game, and we haven't encountered it yet, but is already known, is that at night.
Oh, there it is.
There we go. Here we go. So now we're kind of screwed, honestly. At night, everything gets much more dangerous.
Oh, so you blindsided him.
Yeah,
You were doing what Eddie was saying earlier, just like as you continue to circle around. And
I'm
you
a
just get it.
natural.
Someone was saying like the best ones to start with would be 4, 6, 7, and 10.
Oh god, there's another one. Okay. Yeah, I'd say if 10 is probably going to be the least dated graphics-wise.
It's true,
as well.
especially with the HD remakes.
Right. Okay, now you.
Clean your glasses. Capital idea.
7's available on pretty much everything now too.
Yes. They're making a proper HD remake of that as well, which may help to undate it a little bit.
But that one's going to be more action-oriented like this. Final Fantasy 7.
Come on, die.
Oh, the remastered undated one. That's $15 on Steam, not the remake, which is coming out on PS4 whenever.
Oh my god, are those... Oh my god, okay, hold on. You know what I'm gonna do?
Run?
I'm gonna run
Oh, they're bombs.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know
they're bombs.
That's why I'm running like a little
That is
bitch.
bad.
Run, you little fucker, run.
Can you teleport? When your friends run out of peace, there.
No, I'm not rescuing.
Oh,
I'm
Prompto is
running.
dead.
Hold on.
Oh, rest in peace, Prompto.
Hold on. I'm just gonna go camp.
Oh,
That's fine.
everybody got away. You still got experience for that.
I don't know why. That was a fucking misery. So, this was an intentional demonstration. I wanted you guys to understand that it's important to camp at night. Honestly, I think that's going to be a really cool tool for people who are looking to power level and do all of that stuff.
We make mistakes so you don't have to.
Exactly. That's what's going on here. Like it'll be cool for power leveling and all that, but yes, the monsters at night are way more dangerous.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, I want to make camp. He says, "Do you want to make camp?" And I say yes.
That is really apparent.
I say yes. So this is just a very early bit of the game. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna play a bit more, just like on my own, and then maybe what I'll do is over the weekend, maybe do like an after hours stream from home. We'll see, just so you guys can see a little bit more later into the game if you want to. If you don't, then that's fine too. Either way, I get to play more of it. But very curious to see what you guys' thoughts are if you're planning on picking the game up, what you think of it as a Final Fantasy title. Which of your bros is the weirdest?
Prompto. It's Prompto.
Yeah, no, he's kind of crazy. But
Though Ignis being invisible, that was pretty weird.
yeah, so it's not bug free, which is unfortunate.
What game is this these days, though?
I
In
know,
all honesty.
I know, but it's also been in development for 10 years. You hope
Yeah.
they iron things out.
I mean, to be fair, this is arguably in an hour and a half of that we've played, it's more of a game than Duke Nukem Forever was, and that also took 10 years.
Yes, that's true. So let us know what you think of it if you're going to get it. What other games we should play, because we're always open to suggestions for playing more games. And beyond that, we will see you guys soon. Do another stream maybe next week.
Yeah, sounds good.